Hey there guys, Jimmy from Classic Gaming here, bringing you another TF2 video, and as I'm sure you are all very aware, I am the current reigning hat guy, sort of, self-acclaimed, self-professed, I am the best. Come at me with that mess. Bet you didn't know I could rhyme, rap, that's me. But anyways, hats are cool, and we like hats. Trading is fun, probably, not really, but we're gonna talk about it anyways. So, recently Valve has been pulling some shit, because they're Valve and they like to pull shit. And they made a couple different hats, all class, a couple different hats have multiple classes. There's works going in right now in the Steam Workshop for more hats to go all class, or just, you know, various weird shit like that. And a lot of people are very surprised. Now, the most notable one that's recent is the Bot Dogger going all class. Now, most people have noticed the regular Hot Dogger, which is the non-robot version of the Bot Dogger, that came before the Bot Dogger, was not made into an all-class as well, just the Bot Dogger. Now, here's the thing about Valve, and TF2 as a whole. TF2 is basically Valve's test lab. Valve really likes to fuck with people in TF2 economy. Why? Who knows? I guess overall it's just their way of experimenting with things and seeing how the market reacts to various changes. It also allows them to kind of like, you know, see what happens in a virtual economy when certain things go a certain way. So because of that, they've been doing these various kinds of experiments like all the fucking time. Now I'm sure when the Bot Dogger went all class, you had various reactions like why, or what, or fuck you Jimmy. Even though I have no say in anything, I can understand some people don't like me, and that's alright, you know, I don't blame you. I still love you, and I think you look very beautiful today. But the point is here, Valve doesn't give a fuck. Valve does not care at all about what you think or what you want. They really don't give a shit as far as the economy goes. They could really give two shits. What they want is they want money, and they want to try new things, because that's what Valve does. They, one, make money and try new things. So, what they do is they fuck with the market. For instance, this has gone back so far, adding new hats and new unusual effects is an experiment, because every time a new effect or a new hat is added, it gets put somewhere in the list of tiers. When the very first new unusual effects came out, and those were like smoking and orbiting fire and whatnot, people loved them. Like, they were selling like hotcakes. You could get a burning Tyrant's helm for cheaper than you could an orbiting fire Tyrant's helm. Now, since there was no sort of like backpack.tf back then, the prices eventually, naturally, moved into their current spots of being very low tier, because that's how the market worked. You know, it was nice and organic. It didn't, you know, rely on backpack.tf or some other price website. It was simply, okay, these are new, these are hot, people want them, people are paying lots of money for them. Oh wait, demand is going down, supply is going up, price is going way down, and now it's completely bottomed out, and now these are like the lowest tier effects. All that happened within like a few months, you know. Whereas now, thanks to backpack.tf coming in, new hats and new effects tend to stabilize at a much higher level, and they don't really go down. But that's not the point of this video. We're talking about Valve and their experiments. So that's like, you know, one of the first basic experiments they did. Then they had the idea to see what would happen if they changed a hat into a misc, because they didn't have too many miscs back then. And they changed the No Mercy from a hat into a misc. And they changed the Bonk Boy from a hat into a misc. And they changed a bunch of other hats gradually from hats into miscs. And what this did, increased the price and the desire behind a lot of these hats that became miscs. I remember when the No Mercy first came out, I had a Burning Charmer's Chapeau at the time, and then it went, and then the Burning No Mercy went misc, and I was like, well shit, I gotta grab that. And I grabbed it, and it was sick. I got it 1-to-1, very cool trade. I was really happy about that. And then, of course, Valve decided to do something even different, and that is to discontinue a hat. Make it so you cannot unbox it in unusual form anymore. And they did it to the No Mercy, and immediately after that happened, the price shot way the hell up. I mean, so far up. Now, after that happened, we saw the Hazmat go, you know, unavailable. We saw the coffin kit go unavailable, even though technically the coffin kit was a mistake, but regardless, it happened as well. There was unusual coffin kits that got produced, and then Valve quickly shot that into the ground, so you cannot get them anymore unless you trade for them. And then they did it to it's important to remember that the No Mercy, the coffin kit, the hazmat, all of those were unofficial. Valve never stated, hey, we're discontinuing these unusuals. So what happened was, the hype around them slowly grew until eventually people realized, oh wait, you can't get these anymore. Let's hype it up even more. And so that's what happened. But then Valve had the idea, what if we say, hey, we're going to discontinue these 8 hats? And that's what they did. They discontinued the Soldier Stash, the Batter's Helmet, and a bunch of other kind of mid-tier unusuals, low-tier, mid-tier. Stash was high-tier, but regardless, overall. And what happened with that was people started to price them higher and higher, but the demand never caught on, the hype never caught on, because it wasn't as shocking as the No Mercy going, AWOL. It was announced. Valve let us know, and that was more than likely another experiment of them seeing what the difference was between them announcing a change and them just letting a change happen and letting the community figure it out by themselves. Because so far what we can tell is that when the community figures out something for themselves without being told by Valve, the hype is extremely present. It's there, and people are crazy and they want the hats. But when it's not that, surprise, it's more of a, hey guys, this will be happening, so stock up, go ahead. They don't give a fuck anymore. The price of the stash did go up, it did, but did it go up nearly as much as the No Mercy? Hell no. And then it got made a MISC after being made limited. So that, further experimentation by Valve there. And it still didn't really go up that much in value, even then. So a lot of these things, Valve is just testing the water, seeing what the fuck happens when an unusual gets made all class, when an unusual gets limited, when an unusual gets MISC. Like the Polar Pullover came out as a hat, became a MISC. Virtual Viewfinder came out as a hat, became a MISC. All these crazy things that have happened that have changed the, like the market a little bit, or a lot of bit, have all just been Valve experiments. And I'm more than positive that this bot dogger thing is simply them trying to see what happens if they make a hat that is a robo hat something better than the original hat. Because right now, it's pretty safe to say there is no regular unusual hat that sells for less than its robo counterpart. Except for, of course, the gibbous, but there is no unusual gibbous, so it's kind of null and void. But when you look at now, we have the bot dogger going all class, but the regular hot dogger is still scout only. It makes you wonder, how much higher in value will that bot dogger go? Will it start to surpass the hot dogger? Most likely. Will it, reach the other levels of all class stardom? Probably not, because it's a bot hat. It's a robo hat. People don't like those. But Valve wants to see what happens when they do certain things. So all these crazy things you see Valve do to their hats, that's just them fucking with you. Like, plain and simple, they just like to mess with the economy. It's their own little sandbox, and boy oh boy do they love kicking down sandcastles. They are literally the beach bully named Valve, Gabe Newell. I'm done ranting about this, but I know a lot of people are confused. They're so confused as to why Valve makes all these weird last-minute decisions. It's all planned, dude. They're just trying to fuck with you. That's all. So, hopefully this gave you some insight. As always, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. GG. Peace the fuck out.